Most people don't recognize we all have a story. There's value in knowing our story, there's value in telling our story. Wouldn't you agree? I am not referring to what we see often in social media. We all see all sorts of reasons that people tell things under the guise of telling their story, but most often that's not really what's going on. Sometimes people have not learned how to sell something. For example, people believe that all they have to do is to get the YouTube video post and people will come buying. Many people don't realize that that's a fool's errand, and what we do is we sell ourselves. I heard a great analogy from Gary Vaynerchuk that he doesn't need to know about the product. He needs to know about the person. If he trusts the person, he'll buy anything. We need to share ourselves, not just for ourselves, but for how others see us. Like I said, we've all got our stories, and our stories are not just our accomplishments, because that's not what people want to see. People want to see and hear about us, what's inside, and the experiences we have, what's given us these lines on our face and the tears we've shed, not for reasons of gathering attention, but for reasons of sharing. My story, and the purpose of this video, by the way, is not to tell my story. There's just too much stuff there. This is an introduction. This is why I need you to subscribe to my story channel. Ultimately, my story begins with my children, Eric, Felicia, and Rebecca. I always told them that things like grades is not what mattered or mattered to me ever. It's the kind of person they were, and whether or not they gave a full effort and cared about others. That's all that has ever mattered to me, and they haven't let me down. My stories, gosh, when does our story start? When we're infants, probably. My professional story starts with my engineering career that spans several decades and resulted in some issues with me not having finished my undergrad. That's a real important part of my story because that chapter has now been started up again. I am now going to be attending grad school when I finish retaking my undergrad math classes. So really what my story is about something that's no different than any of you here. We all have stories. We just have to be ourselves. So if nothing else, maybe the approach that I take in telling my story and not holding anything back perhaps might give others confidence to be confident about their story and to not be quite as afraid to share it, because I can tell you, the people that will matter to you are those that will not judge you. They want to hear from you. They want to know about you. Give them that opportunity. Your call to action here is to subscribe to my hub. You'll be getting an email in the next day or two on that, and to subscribe to at least the channel within that hub called My Story. You'll hear and see more about this over the next couple of days. Have a great rest of the weekend.